Hello, Abraham. How are you? We spoke in... Sorry?
We are extremely well.
You're always high. We spoke in 2009, and I'm glad to be back again. My questions today, first thing I'd like to know is your perspective.
Are you saying that you were in this hot seat before?
Yes.
That doesn't seem fair, does it?
No, it sucks.
So your desire was there, and because you've been there before, your expectation was in the same place. So you were a logical candidate, yes?
Yes. And yes, I was sitting next to the last woman as well. Sorry, folks. Your perspective, please, is what I'd like. You hear a lot about this awakening and the change in dimensions and all sorts of things about the earth right now. Some say, well, this is exactly going to happen. Others say we don't know. I'd like your perspective on...
What do they say is going to happen?
The earth changing vibration. We're moving to a better time. You've mentioned the awakening.
That's true always. It's true always. You are a part of it, a big part of it here today. Mm-hmm. That statement is always true no matter what.
Okay, well, they're talking about something specific, like a change from a focus on the love of power to the power of love, which is something I'd like to see and be part of.
Well, there are a lot of different ways of describing alignment. And there are a lot of people who would like things to flip all at once, but they won't. In other words, everyone gets to choose the part that they play. And the emphasis that we would like to give to all of you is that not another person needs to understand this in order for you to live happily ever after. There's a lot of rhetoric that goes something like, well, things are about to change, and all of you who aren't looking at it in that way are in for a rude awakening because things are about to change. And we say, not for them. In other words, everyone is getting what they are vibrationally asking for and allowing, you see. There is not a change that has the power to enforce itself upon the life experiences of anyone. That defies everything that we've been talking about here today. You are individually the creators of your own experience, and life will never become so aligned on planet Earth that someone would have the ability to be aligned when they're beating the drum of something unwanted, you see. You have the free will, the free agency to focus wherever you are wanting. And when you make your transition into non-physical, of course you will leave behind that resistance, and you will become all that this life experience has caused you to become. We've been calling this for a while the time of awakening. But what it really is the time of reawakening, when more, not all, will come into conscious awareness of your own creative power. But we would not be so bold as to try to superimpose that understanding or that experience over everyone, because that defies the free will that you all have. You are so free you can choose bondage, and it has to be all right that you do. And it also has to be all right that there are things for you to choose from. It has to be all right that you know what you don't want, because the expansion of the universe is dependent upon you knowing what you don't want, you see. Humans quite often are waiting for someone to ride in on the great white horse and save them from all the things that are bothering them. And so there is always another movement or another moving into another dimension that they are hoping for. And the reason that so many get on that bandwagon, we love you so much, is because often you are so out of focus or so unwilling. We hesitate to use the word lazy, but you are. Too lazy to do your own personal work. And so you're just wanting something else, some big power to zap us. The power of well-being will zap this planet, and we will all move into another dimension where we will understand everything more fully. And we say, no, that's not how it happens. You didn't want it that way. You said, I'll go forth and I'll sift through the contrast, and I'll know what I don't want, and I'll know what I do want. And when I know what I do want, it will swirl in a vortex, and the larger part of me will know, and source energy, the energy that creates worlds, will focus with me, and I will be able to feel by the power of the desire within me whether I am resonant and in alignment with the whole of who I am or I am not. And when I am, the evidence will show itself to me. And when I'm not, the evidence will show itself to me. It has ever been thus, and it will always be so. Always, you say.
Thank you.
Yeah. Now, if you are asking, is this a time when more are understanding? For sure.
Yeah.
Is this a time when more people are coming into alignment with who they are? For sure. Is this a time when there are more people happy and in alignment and knowing their power, feeling their empowerment and radiating love? For sure. But in all of that, You see, there's such a tricky little twist in this. If you are one who is in complete alignment with who you are, tuned in to the whole of who you are, and viewing this world through the eyes of Source, you would never ask for such a thing. Think about it. Source isn't asking for that. Source doesn't say, well, we'll send you forth, but let us clean it all up before you get there, because we would like you to have a feathered nest, because there would be no expansion if the contrast were to not exist. Are you following? Do you get it? Do you embrace the idea of the contrast? Do you accept the wholeness of who you are? Yeah, you do.
Thank you for that.
Yes, indeed.